Good morning, this is Dwayne, and today I would like to talk about the different ways to play the same song when you're playing a solo or where you're playing for a group singing or where you're accompanying a soloist. Those are entirely different ways to play, and most people don't understand that. Okay, that's why there's very few pianists that are good at accompanying because they really don't understand the difference. But let's say that you're playing for group singing. Uh, what you have to do is you have to bang out a strong melody, whatever that melody is. Say you're playing Over the Rainbow. Well, then you have to play. You have to make sure they hear that melody. Or let's say you're playing in church and you're playing What a Friend We Have in Jesus. You have to bang out that melody. The melody has to be strong because in group singing you have a bunch of non-musicians for the most part, right? And so you have to establish the strong melody and you have to establish a strong rhythm. They need to know, where the beat is. So it's up to you to establish that. Okay. Whereas if you were playing a solo, that would be entirely different. If I was playing Over the Rainbow, say, or whatever, let me play Over the Rainbow. I could improvise to my heart's content, couldn't I? Because I wouldn't have to stick with the melody. It might be a good solo, might be a bad solo, but it would be unique. Okay, it wouldn't be like playing for a group. Same way if I was playing at church, instead of playing "What a Friend We Have in Jesus" like that, I might play it something like this. Okay, that's a lot different than that. A lot different, okay? You can take your time, you can choose, you don't have to stick with the beat, you don't have to stick with the melody. You want to play enough melody so people know what you're playing, of course. So that's important, and particularly in a church setting. But also in another setting, people, want to hear the melody. Unless you're in a jazz club and people understand jazz, you want to stick pretty close to the melody. But if I was accompanying somebody, that would be entirely different still, wouldn't it? Okay, accompanying a soloist of some sort. What's the difference between accompanying a soloist and accompanying a group? Well, with the group, you have people singing different parts, right? And you have to establish that strong beat and everything. With a musician, with a singer, or a trumpet player, or whoever you're playing, they are a musician too. Okay, but so you don't have to bang out the melody. You don't have to play the melody at all. You can play the chords in back of it. Let me just illustrate. If I was playing for What a Friend We Have in Jesus, I might do an introduction and then they'd start a What a Friend We Have in You see, that's entirely different than playing the melody, isn't it? I'm changing chords. I'm not playing the melody. I'm filling in between in the open spaces. In other words, where the words aren't, in other words, where a singer or a player isn't playing, that's when a pianist should fill in the gap a little bit. Okay, by just sometimes just a note or two, like you heard me do. Like let's say in Moon River, if I'm playing accompanying somebody. Okay, I do something like this. notice that in the break, after river wider than when there's no words, when a singer is breathing or taking a break, then the pianist can play a couple notes, fill in, just a little fill in, nothing spectacular. But that's the difference between those three ways of playing. So remember, that's very important, whether you're playing hymns or whether you're playing for a college group or some other social group. Three ways to play. For group singing, you want to bang out the melody and the rhythm strongly. For a solo, you can do whatever you do. You can take liberties with the melody, you can take liberties with the time, and so on. And for accompanying a soloist, then you can take liberties with the harmony, certainly, but you don't have to play the melody at all, so that frees you up to do some other things. Okay, that's it for today, so hope you enjoyed that. So bye-bye for now.